Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Make sure you're on mute, please. Mute. Excellent. All right. Well, welcome. Today's class, we're going to need a couple of blocks. And we're going to play with the blocks a little bit today just to show us how amazing the blocks can be as a sense of stability, but also to allow us to feel the pose. The theme today is going to be the 6th limb of yoga, which is like the 10 commandments of yoga. And last week we talked about the monkey's mind and how we learn through the practice to quieten the mind. One of the ways to do that is to find concentration, focus. Usually it could be focusing on one thing. It could be your breath. It could be focusing on where you are in your body. Sometimes it will be a breath exercise. It could be repeating a word or a movement. And unfortunately, with today's technology, we find that we have less and less concentration because we're constantly distracted by little pop-ups, text messages, photographs that come up, and so on and so forth. So it allows us to be less and less focused in our own being. We always magnetize to what goes around us. So the practice teaches us, of course, to go inward and focus where we are, focus on the breath, focus on your drishti, a focal point, so on and so forth. We will get started with a constructive rest on the block under your pelvis. Lay back, relax your shoulders down. Wiggle your hips a couple of times. Find the center of your pelvis. You may wiggle your hips a little, just right and left, especially if we're just starting the day here. And this is the first word of focus right here is what am I feeling? Where am I feeling? Where do I need to focus my breath and my intention? And then relax your arms. Relax your feet down to the mat. Inhale. Relax your jawline, your eyebrows. And you may have to visit your body again and again as you're trying to focus in to your practice, leaving everything behind. Notice what your body's language is right now. Notice the quality of your breath. If you're shallow breathing, expand your rib cage. You can notice you're tensing up. Relax what it is that you're tensing up. Option to bend your elbows into cactus. And as you're sinking your hips and hydrating the tissue, you may have to wiggle your hips a little if you feel a little tension. With your next breath, open your arms in a T position. Inhale. And then on the exhale, bring your palms towards the ceiling together. Inhale, open. Focus on what you feel in your body through your movement. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your elbows and take your hands over your heart, over your head. Big expansion. Extend your right leg and extend your left leg. Flex your feet. Stretch your front body. Feet together. Like you're doing Urdhva Hastasana, like mountain pose with your arms over your head. Lengthen the heels, bring your toes towards your knees. And then on the next exhale, bring your knees to your chest and hug your knees in. Grab your hands to your knees, little circle. Circle your ankles. Good. Organize your block under your sacrum again. Lift your feet off the floor. And now lift your palms over your heart. Draw the arms into the socket. Spread your fingers. Spread your toes. And then with your next breath, tap your right toes and extend your left leg over your head. Engage your core. Inhale, lift up. Legs are strong and heavy. Exhale, left foot taps. Connect your left heel to your left knee, to your left hip, to your left shoulder. And then slowly lift it up. Front lower ribs are down. Inhale, right foot, left hand, slow. Almost like you have a hot iron on the mat and you really don't want to touch it. And then lift it up. Exhale, left and right. Lift it up. Press your sacrum down. Option, extend your right leg a little further. Tap it a little further from you. Toes are down. Tap with your toes, with your toes. And then lift it up. Left leg taps. Your knee is still slightly bent, just a little further from you. Front lower ribs are down. Slowly lift. One more time. Tap your right. Lift up. And tap your left. Lift it up. Inhale, take your hands to your thighs. Resist your thighs to your hand. Inhale. And now exhale, lift your right leg up. Extend your left leg out. Squeeze your inner thighs. Now your left leg is going only as low as your low back is not arching. Slowly bend your legs. Inhale, resist your thighs to your hands. Exhale, left leg up, right leg out. Inhale, bend. Exhale, left leg out, right leg up with resistance. Squeeze your inner thighs, relax your shoulders. Inhale, bend. Exhale, left leg up, right leg out. For 3, 2, 1. Slowly bend your legs. Drop your feet down to the floor. Lift your hips and move the block out of your way. Drop your knees right and left. Try to be conservative here. Don't go all the way, but press the SI joint where your sacrum meets your pelvis, your iliac bone. Breathe in there to the right and to the left. Good. Slowly cross your ankles, rock and roll a couple of times. And come all the way to quadruped. You're on your knees. If you need padding for your knees, please make sure that you have a little padding. And now take your right hand, Take your right hand and turn your hand towards your knee, tuck your toes under. Inhale, open your heart, tuck your toes under, depress the shoulders. Let it come from your mid upper back, sternum towards the floor. Exhale, round your spine and form your low back. Maybe you shift back a little. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, round. Release your right fingertips. You're on your toes. Come all the way up. Circle the wrist. Good. And now we go to the other side. Take your left hand. Turn it towards your knee. Inhale, open your chest. Let it come. The cow comes from your mid upper back. Exhale, round from your low back. Inhale, open your chest. Movement allows us to focus. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Slowly peel your hand off. Tucking your toes under. Circle, circle, circle. Good. Find a block if you need to and sit in a comfortable seat. We're going into Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate breathing. The pranayama, the breath control, this is one way to focus on, again, to learn how to concentrate. And the reason that we do all of that is to learn to come to a meditative place. Some of us that love art of any kind, that are passionate about something, when you are connected to that passion or that inner art that you have, you can look at it and feel totally disconnected from the environment around you. You're so much in your own element. And that's what the Dharana, which is the sixth limb of yoga, teaches us. The tools to learn to feel totally disconnected from the environment. There can be noise out there, but we are in our own element. So take your right hand, your middle finger and your index finger can go towards your third eye, or just you can curl them in. Thumb on your right nostril, ring finger on your left nostril. Sit nice and tall. And then on the next breath, inhale, breathe through the left nostril. Pause. Exhale, right nostril. Balancing the right and left side of the brain. Inhale, right. Pause. Exhale, left. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, left. Pause. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Pause. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Release your hands on your thighs. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Nice. Take a few shoulder rolls. Interlace your hands in front of you. Flip your fingers. and take them up and over your head. Bend your elbows to the right, lift your rib cage up. Lift your left elbow energetically up and ground your left hip down. Allow your grip to be soft here. Let the breath do the work. Inhale, come out. Exhale, bend to the left. Lift your right ribs up. Slowly release, liberate your arms. A few shoulder rolls. Good. Move the block out of your way. Spread your fingers wide, and now you're going to put weight towards the parameters of your hand. If you take one hand around the parameters of your hand, okay, just move your hands all the way around the knuckles, the base of your hand, and the heel of your hand. And then touch your fingertips. Okay. And this is what you touch the floor with. So there's a little suction at the center of your palm. Look in here. There's a suction, just like the arch of your foot. So your fingertips touching, and then the base of your hand. When you do plank pose, when you do a push-up, when you do downward facing dog. So spread your fingers wide. Find those parameters, and then the fingertips push the floor, lift your chest, tuck your toes under, downward facing dog. Bend and straighten your leg a few times. Lift your hips high, hollow your belly. And now breathe and notice where you are. Visualize a block between your elbows, hugging to the midline. And then the crown of your head lengthening to your thumbs. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale. And then exhale. Slowly come all the way forward to plank pose. Feel the suctions in your hands. Drop your knees down to the floor. Relax the back of the feet down. Extend your left leg all the way to the right leg all the way to the left. Gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe into the right side of your body. Draw the left hip back. And now micro bending your right knee and straighten. Micro bend and straighten. Micro bend and straighten. One more time. Micro bend and straighten. Ground your left hand, kickstand your left leg, ground your right foot, come all the way up into a gate variation. Press the outer blade of your foot, inhale. On the exhale, ground your left hand in front of your left knee and reach your right fingertips way forward. Draw the hips back. Breathe. With your next breath, bend your right elbow, open your heart. Ground the arm into the socket. Gaze forward, push your left hand off the floor, right hand on your thigh, gate pose. Breathe in here. You can also bend your left elbow. Feel free to do so. All right. Inhale, gaze to your left. If you need a block, grab a block on the toe setting to your left. Now we'll call your left knee 12 o'clock. We're going to move your right foot either to 12 o'clock, will be easier, or to 11 o'clock. Draw the right hip back. Squeeze your inner thighs. You may stay here, or maybe you lift your hands. Oh yeah, find your glutes, find your glutes, find your glutes. Breathe in here. Squeeze your inner thighs, lengthen your tailbone. Press the mount of your big toe. Here is your dharana concentration. What do you focus on to find your center? If you want a little more, take your right hand behind your left thigh, lift your left arm, gaze to the right. Get out of your comfort zone and breathe. With your next breath, gaze forward. Oh my gosh, liberate your left hand to your block. Bring your right hand to the top of your mat. And now take your left knee is moving to the right slightly. Left foot goes to the right, and now take your right knee behind your left knee into Gomukhasana. Hug your knees together, separate your feet a lot, flex your feet, and now draw your hips back. So the glutes are not going down, but they're going back. Lengthen the hamstrings and your glutes here. If that feels very stiff, come forward and back a few times. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, back. And this is way safer to do if you feel that you're super stiff today, because you're hydrating the tissue and you're not overly stretching and breaking the connective tissue. Forward and back. Slowly come back down. Liberate your legs. Walk your knees slightly back behind you. Come all the way down to the floor. Walk your knees so the front of your thighs are flat, feet and heels together. And now bring your fingers outside of your mat. Cupcake your hands. Draw the shoulders back. On the next inhale, cobra variation. Draw the shoulders back. Lift your chest forward. Your heels would want to sway to the right and left. Squeeze them like you have a tennis ball. Glutes active. Slowly lower down. Inhale. Shoulders back and down. Squeeze your inner thighs. Lengthen your tailbone. Lift your chest. Depress the shoulders. Do not hold your breath. Here is your concentration. Slowly release. Take your hands in front of you, forearms down on the floor. Inhale, exhale, lift your chest up, but energetically pull the heels of your hands towards your hips. Keep breathing, and now you have this imaginary block between your elbows. Glutes active, lift your back ribs and widen your collarbones. Slowly lower down. Bring your hands by your ribs, push the floor, downward facing dog. Walk your dog, flush it out. Come forward, plank pose, lift your chest, drop your knees down to the floor. Relax your feet, left leg behind the right, gaze over the right shoulder. Draw the right hip back and draw the shoulders back. Now pay attention to your core. Notice if you have a saggy core, can you corset your abdomen a little? And now bend and straighten your left knee slowly. What does it feel like when you bend? And what does it feel like when you straighten slow? Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend one more time and straighten. And then the next time, kickstand, keep your right hand down, kickstand your right leg, ground your left foot, lift your arms up. Yeah, make sure you have your block close by you. And now with your next breath, inhale, ground your right hand, and now reach your left fingertips way forward. Gaze towards between your legs. Draw those hips back. Can you shower your whole body, trace it with your pillar of light and with your breath? Wherever there is light, there is breath. Slowly come up, lift your arms up. Left hand to your thigh, right hand up and over your head. Plug the arm in, gate pose. With your next breath, gaze forward. Find your block on the right, on the toe setting. Your right knee is 12 o'clock, left hand to your hip. And now walk your left foot either to 12 o'clock or to 1 o'clock. Draw the left hip back, squeeze your inner thighs. Lengthen your tailbone. The man of your big toe is a big player. Stay here or lift your arms over your head. Notice how each side is so different, but even more important, notice how your glutes are a huge part of your stability. Take your left hand behind your right glute. Maybe you gaze to the left. Those are just options. Find the edge. Breathe. Micro bend in your right elbow so you don't crank that arm out of the socket. Ooh. With grace, come forward, liberate your hands. Find one hand on your block. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Drop your left knee down and now walk your left knee behind your right knee, whichever way it is. So go Mukasana, yeah? Separate your feet a lot and snuggle your knees. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, draw the hips back. Notice at this side, if it feels super stiff, come forward and back, maybe the whole time. Your hips, your joints would love that. So look at your practice like an inner art. You're moving your body through space with your own beauty, your own whatever moves you. And allow that movement to be laced with your inner light so you have awareness in your breath, your energy, your life force. Notice where you might be holding tension. Can you relax your fingertips? Those are all little tricks to help us to relax so we can focus. Slowly come back up. Release your knees. And now just drop your hips to the right. And drop your hips to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Slowly come back up. Downward facing dog. Stretch your spine, lengthen your tailbone. Walk your hands to your feet. Bend your knees a lot. And now take your hands behind your calf muscles. Some of you can just stay here. If you have a little more, you can cross your arms behind your calves and catch your opposite shin in front. Bend your knees, shoulders away from your ears, gaze forward, inhale. Exhale, lift your hips and bring your chest to your thighs. Your knees can stay bent the whole time. Lift your shoulders over your ears. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale. Lift those sit bones. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Slowly liberate your arms. Hands on your shins, hands on your thighs. Slowly come all the way up to mountain pose. Woo! A few shoulder rolls. Breathe. Ha. I have to adjust this camera a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Okay, hopefully you can see me a little more here. All right. So, inhale, lift your palms up. Exhale, bend your knees, from your hips, forward fold. You can always bend your knees. Find your blocks at the top of your mat. And then slowly walk your hand to downward facing dog on your blocks, on the low setting. We're gonna go to sacred geometry sign salutations. So your knees are bent, that's your beginning. Inhale, gaze forward, exhale, right foot forward. Open your heart, bend your knees, open your chest, inhale. Exhale, lift your left hand, easy twist. Gaze forward, pyramid pose. Draw the right hip back. You can bend your left knee a little if you need to. Do whatever feels good for you. Inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, plank pose. You can always drop your knees down to the floor. Lift your chest. Downward facing dog with bent knees. Inhale, gaze forward, left foot forward. Open your heart. Breathe, glutes active. Keep your right hand down, easy twist, lift your right hip high. Remember to drop your right knee if you need to. Lengthen your torso tall. Gaze down, pyramid pose. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Press the balls of your feet to protect your knees. Bend your left knee, inhale. Exhale, plank pose, or bring your knees down. Lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Lift your hips. Inhale, gaze forward, right foot forward. Open your heart, inhale. Exhale, easy twist. Drop your right hand down, pyramid pose. Bend your right knee, inhale. Plank pose. Downward facing dog, bend your knees. Inhale, gaze forward, left foot forward. Open your heart. Easy twist. Lower your hand down, pyramid pose. Bend your left knee, inhale. Exhale, plank pose, any variation. Last set, bend your knees, down dog, inhale. Exhale, right foot forward, open your heart, inhale. Exhale, easy twist. Inhale, lower your hand, exhale, pyramid pose. For the last variation, drop your left knee, walk your left foot back a little, drop your left knee down, and now lift your right toes, take your blocks with you. Quad muscles are active. Your blocks can be on the very tall setting. Lift your mid back towards the ceiling. Keep your left hand down and now bend your right elbow and swing your arm behind you. Stay here or lift your left hand, windmill your arms. Breathe in here for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly bring your hands forward. Find your blocks, bend your right knee. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees, inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Open your heart, inhale. Exhale, easy twist. Lower your left hand down, inhale. Exhale, pyramid pose. Draw the left hip back, shoulders back. Breathe. Press the balls of your feet to protect your knees. With your next breath, walk your right foot slightly back. Drop your right knee down to the floor if you need padding. And now straighten your left leg, bring your blocks with you. Maybe your blocks are taller. Draw the left heel towards your left sit bone. Ground your right hand on the block, bend your left elbow and windmill your arm behind you. Hollow your belly, left arm, left arm. So your right hand is down, yes. Squeeze your inner thighs, core is active. Stay here or lift your right arm and gaze to the left. Oh, breathe here. Maybe your right hand comes up, yes, breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly gaze forward, bend your left knee, downward facing dog. Drop your knees down, child's pose, use your blocks. Take an inhale, take an exhale, take a little break. Okay, so now you have your blocks. Gaze forward. Place your hands on your blocks, tuck your toes under, plank pose. Keep your hands on the block, just go, turn your heels to the left, to the right. Lift your hips high. Come back center, inhale. Exhale, turn your heels to the left. Slowly come center, drop your knees down, child's pose. Inhale, gaze forward. Lift your knees off the floor. You can always modify on this variation, plank pose. Drop your heels to the right. Drop your right knee if you need to, lift your left hand up. Side plank here. Lift your hips high, bring your right rib cage forward. Slowly come down, inhale, plank pose. Walk your heels over to the left. Drop your left knee if you need to. Lift your right arm up. Rotate your left rib cage forward and bring your chest up. Slowly come back center. Drop your knees down and drop your hips behind you. Give your hands a little massage. Ooh, getting a little hot here. Shake it off, shake, 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 shake. Good job. So there's many ways to warm up the upper body and create strength, even in a safer way, in my opinion, than a million chaturangas. I find that most of us don't really do it correctly, so we compensate. It's very nice to know where you are in place and engage the right muscles. All right, so now we have our blocks at the top of your mat, and that's where we're gonna start to have fun with it. We're gonna travel with the blocks for the first set. So your blocks are gonna come to the top of your mat, walk all the way up to the top of your mat. Keep your blocks on the toe setting in front of you and come into your Tadasana, mountain pose. Spread your toes wide, shoulders over your hips, and then lift your palms up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, find your blocks. Ground your left leg, shoulders back, lift your right leg into an L shape. Toes are down, square your hips. With your next breath, bend your left knee slightly, take your right leg all the way back, Skandasana, take your blocks with you. We're gonna bend the right knee and lift your left toes. Blocks are in front of you. Drag the left heel towards your left sit bone. Breathe. With your next breath, turn everything to the back of your mat. Find your blocks. Runner's lunge. Keep your left block. Bend your right elbow. Easy twist. Your knees off the floor if possible. Lengthen your torso, then rotate your left ribs into the right thigh. With your next breath, gaze forward. Take your right hand on your block, ground your left foot, side angle. Take your left hand to your hip for now and bring your chest forward. Allow your right ribcage to rotate towards the ceiling, and now your right sit bone towards your left sit bone. Now lift your left arm up. Keep breathing. Lengthen your chest. Depress the right shoulder. And now with your next breath, gaze forward, grab your opposite block, push the floor and come to reverse warrior. Turn everything to the top of your mat. Find the block on your right hand. Find the block on your left hand all the way forward. Lift your right leg up. Modified half moon with both blocks. So notice the left hip is going back and in. Lift your chest forward. Notice how much stability your left glute has. With your next breath, gaze forward, feet together. Walk the blocks in front of you, Utkatasana variation. Lengthen through the low back. Bend your knees, draw the shoulders and your hips back. Breathe. Leave your blocks down there. Inhale, lift your chest all the way up. Hands to your heart center, exhale. Take a moment, breathe. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, lift your palms up. Exhale, find your blocks, forward fold. Stand strong on your right leg, open your chest, inhale. Exhale, left leg goes back, L shape. All 5 toes are down and squeeze your inner thighs like you have a block. Maybe a micro bend in your right knee, especially if you're one of those that hyperextends. Breathe. Lift your mid back towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee slightly, take your left leg all the way back. Skandasana, bend your left knee, lift your right toes, take your blocks with you. Draw those hips back and drag your right heel towards your sit bone. Good. Slowly turn everything to the back of your mat into runner's lunge. Ground your right hand on your block. Easy twist. Maybe you go a little deeper now that your body is warm. With your next breath, gaze forward, left hand on your block outside your foot. Ground your right heel. Lift your right arm to your hip. And now rotate your left rib cage towards the ceiling. Bring your left sit bone towards your right sit bone. And now liberate your right arm. Front lower ribs doing a little crunch here. With your next breath, gaze forward, grab your opposite block, reverse your warrior, lift your blocks up. Enjoy the space in your intercostal muscles. Those are the muscles between your ribs. Slowly turn everything to the top of your mat. Ground your blocks in front of you on the tall setting. Standing on your right leg, half moon with both hands down. Draw the right hip back. Lift your chest. Hollow your belly. Square your hips. Feet together. Utkatasana with blocks. Take your blocks in front of you. Lengthen your hips. Draw the shoulders back with you. Enjoy that traction in your spine. Maybe you lower a little more. Bring your blocks a little closer. Push the floor. Come all the way up. Inhale. Hands to your heart center. Find that moment to focus, to shed what doesn't belong there any longer. Notice the space in your thoracic spine, the ground is in your feet and in your hips. And now we're going to do the whole thing without the blocks, but we have the memory. We're going to tweak it a little bit. All right, so see here. My tripod doesn't want to behave itself today a little. Let's see if I can drop it down a little more. Okay, so we're going to go into Gomukhasana. You have an option to take a block right outside of your left foot, but maybe about 10 inches away from your foot. Yes. Feet together. Bend your knees like you're doing chair pose. And I'll take your right foot to the right. Open your arms in a T position. Right elbow under your left elbow. Either give yourself a hug or eagle arms. Okay? Shoulders back, elbows forward, bend your knees, and I either go to your regular eagle if you know you have it, or cross your knees and rest on the block. Lengthen your hips. Keep breathing here. Breathe for 3. Hollow your belly for 2. Lengthen your tailbone. Keep your arms, lift your chest up, swing your right leg back or to the floor to warrior 3. You can definitely drop your foot down if you need to. Chest forward, shoulders back. For 3, 2, 1. Bend your left knee, Skandasana with your elbows just like that. Bend your right knee, lift your left toes. Keep breathing, shoulders back. Liberate your arms to the back of your mat, runner's lunge. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Kickstand your left leg. Now you have an option. Grab your peace fingers to your big toe, or you can hook your arm behind your thigh. We're gonna go into little balance here. Lift your right leg up. Breathe. Lift your chest, glutes are active. With control, bend your right knee, bring it to the top, to the back of your mat, to the back of your mat, to the back of your mat. Ground your left foot, side angle. Any variation that works for you. If you like to bind, feel free to bind, but bring your chest backwards. You can take your hand to the inside of your ankle. You can take your left arm over your head. Breathe. With your next breath, reverse your warrior. Keep your legs. Breathe. Turn everything to the top of your mat. Shorten your stance a little bit. Hands to your waist. Lift your left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee. Find a block if you need to. Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe the block is on the tall or the medium or the low. Left leg is your standing leg. Draw the left hip back, lengthen your chest. Lift your right arm. Breathe here for 3. Breathe here for 2. Breathe here for 1. Gaze forward. Woo. Bring your feet together. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and lift your heart. Hands to your heart center. Take a moment, open your feet into Malasana. Take a block if you need to. Take a little stop here, all right? You can use the block if you need to. If you don't have to. And then the idea here, sometimes, like I said, we so programmed to do more, and we lose the focus, we lose the essence of why we're doing things. What is the purpose of all of this go? What are we trying to prove? So when we do our own inner art, there is no competition, there's no expectation, it's just pure joy for the sake of the joy. we get a chance to nurture the nerve system. We get a chance to be the observers, not just the doers, but the observers. Why are we doing all of those things? And then we realize we don't have to. So we can just shed all of those expectations from ourselves. If that feels good with you, with your block, you can bring your right hand all the way forward and then resist your arm to your inner leg and then take your right hand way out there. I'll turn around so you can see me. Open your fingertips and now take your left hand to the inner. Lift your chest tall first. Lift your chest like a tortoise coming out of its shell, and then rotate your right ribcage to the left. But there's a little rotation from your left ribcage to the right. And like I said, don't try to go nuclear. Just go soft and enjoy the journey. Do you feel a little stiffness somewhere? Can you breathe into it? Slowly come back up. Oh, take a moment, hands to your heart center. Flush all the toxins. Last side. Inhale, lift your left hand. Reach it all the way forward, forward, forward. Hollow your belly. And now resist your arm to your leg and take your fingertips way far to the left. Hollow your belly. Take your right hand to your inner thigh. And now rotate. Lift your chest forward first. Decompressing your spine. And as you're rotating to the right, your right ribcage energetically slightly rotating to the left to protect your low back. And now use your breath. Can you focus in this pose where you need to focus your breath, what's coming up? Ever so slowly come out of it. Release. Ooh, a few shoulder rolls. Bring your feet a little closer. Maybe hug your knees and lift your chest. And the purpose of the exhalation is to let go, to eliminate the toxins, the thoughts, the negativity. And the more we focus on the letting go of the toxins and the negativity, the more we feel free, the more we're able to focus on what truly matters. With your next breath, use your core, use your glutes. 1, 2, 3, open your arms and lift all the way up. Take your block, this time to the right side, feet together. So your block is on the toe setting, about 10 inches to the right of your leg, right leg. And now bend your knees, shift your hips back. Open your arms out in a T. Left elbow under the right, give yourself a hug or go into your eagle arms. Shoulders back, elbows forward. Open your left leg to the left. Go to your eagle legs or left knee over the right knee and over the block. Breathe in here. Shift your hips back and shift your shoulders back. Lengthen your tailbone. Sit in those glutes for 3, 2, and 1. Keep your arms. Lift your left leg and swing it way behind you to warrior 3, or the toes are down on the floor. That's also a good option. Micro bending your right knee, shoulders back, chest forward. Your glutes have to be active. Keep your arms, bend your right knee, Skandasana to the back of your mat. Breathe here. Ooh. Break it down. Don't let your system get overwhelmed. Take one pose at a time. Liberate your arms to the back of your mat. Runner's lunge. Drop your right knee down to the floor. Ground your right hand, kickstand your right leg. Now either peace fingers to your big toe or hook your arm behind your left hamstring. And now swing your left arm. Your knee can be bent just like that. Everyone can do whatever they want to do, but your mid back is strong. Lift your chest towards your right shoulder. Breathe. Now bend your left knee. You're still at the back of your mat. Bring your left foot forward where you were. Ground your right foot. Side angle, any variation. Right arm can be over your head. You can bind. Breathe. If you're binding, bring your chest backwards. And allow your left sit bone to come towards your right sit bone. Nice. Slowly liberate your arms, reverse your warrior. Lift your chest up. Turn your left foot in, turn your right foot out. Shorten your stance a little bit. Lift your right arm up, inhale, and find your block. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Your standing leg is your right leg. You're at the top of your mat. Your left arm comes up last. Find your glutes active and rotate your right rib cage. Lift your arm. For 3. Breathe 2. And 1. Square your hips, inhale. Feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Gaze forward, inhale. Take your legs back to plank pose. And drop everything down to the floor. Take a moment. And breathe. Shoulders back, walk your knees back. Take a moment to liberate your mind and to go through your practice, all the beautiful, strong poses you were able to do. Breaking one pose at a time, one breath at a time. All right, so now take your, find a block close by you. You're gonna take your arms into cactus arms. Shift your body to the left. Turn your nose to the left. And now bend your knees, and find a block between your knees. Try to relax your hips down to the floor. Your elbows are bent. Relax your knees. As you scan your body, notice if you're holding on tension. Now slowly, slowly move the block from your knees. Take your left leg behind you and come all the way up. Push the floor, okay? Push the floor and bring your right wrist towards your left hand, diagonal. Now, bring your right chest, your left leg is behind you, glutes are active. Bring your right chest all the way to the left. Okay, you might find a block now for a pillow. So your chest is coming way forward towards your left hand, as far away as you can. Your right shoulder joint will be off the floor, the front. You're resting on a block. You're resting on the block. And keep twisting your right ribcage towards the ceiling. So you're getting deep into the anterior deltoid and your pecs. Tuck your chin under a little. Feel free to wiggle over the bottom hip to massage the hip joint. Sink your chest down and then further to the left. And use your breath. Very nice. Slowly push. Oh, and now slide your right arm all the way underneath you. Rest on a block. Bend your top leg in front of you and walk your right leg way behind you. I did not say, but if you need a strap, you may need a strap, but stay a moment here. Your top leg is bent forward like a frog. Press your bottom thigh, walk your right leg way back. And now you're pressing your quad muscles to the floor. Bend and straighten your right leg a couple of times slow. Less muscles, more heavy weight of your bones. And then the next time, bend, grab your foot with your hand. Feel free to go towards the outer hip and then walk your knee further away. Or you can go to the top of your thigh. And a hidden spot is bringing your foot towards your left knee. So you're getting those adductor muscles. Press your bones down to the floor. Notice the relationship of this pose to your hips, to your spine. Once in a while, you can wiggle your hips a little bit because you're releasing tissue. And sometimes there's tissue that compresses on a little nerve. Slowly release it. Turn to your back. Let's do just a little bridge pose to balance it all out. Take the block between your knees from your head. Ground your feet and lift your low back. Little bridge here. Lengthen your sit bones towards your calf muscles. And visualize now that your hip bones, those little pointy bones in the front of your pelvis, are lifting you up to the ceiling. So you're lifting with glutes engaged without affecting your low back. Slowly lower one vertebra at a time. Wiggle your hips a little, right and left. Come down to your belly. Find your block close by. Walk your feet back, cactus your arms. Shift your body to the right. And now bend your knees, find a block between your knees. Gaze to the right. Walk your chest out of the way. Sink your hips down heavy and relax your knees. So this is a little active pose. So you're pressing your femur bone down. Press your bones down. It's not like a yin pose where we don't let the muscles. This time we're activating the muscles. This technique is called PNF. And focus your breath. If you feel a little tenderness or pinchy, wiggle your hips a little. Okay, bring your right hand by your nose. Move the block out of your way. Extend your back, top leg back. Lift your chest. And now just turn your wrist towards your right hand. Okay? Now you're going to pull your left chest way forward. You have a block. Way forward, way forward, way forward until you find your head on the block. Rotate your left pecs, your left chest towards the right, towards the ceiling. Relax your right shoulder away from your ear. And as if you're turning your thoracic spine clockwise. Notice where tension is building up. Try to relax into it. Slowly come back. Bend your knees. Lift your chest. Slide your left arm underneath you. Use the pillow. Shift your body back a little. Bend your top knee forward. So you're walking your left leg way back. Press it down. And then bend and straighten slow. Like you have a weight in your ankle and you're trying slowly to bend the knee and to lower. Bend your left knee. Grab your foot. Lift your left knee and slide it further back. And now decide you're going to go to the outer. Do a little test. See if you go towards the outer hip, to the front, or to the inner. Where do you need it the most? Oftentimes going with your left foot towards the right knee, most of us will feel a lot of congestion. So you press it in and then you back off a little. Don't overstress the tissue. Press your thigh down to the floor. This is an active. But relax your chest and your shoulders. Take a moment to really focus, concentrate on unwinding the toxins in your body and finding ways to create freedom. Find or catch yourself tensing up or using the habits, correct them, and over time you find yourself more at ease. Less clutter in the mind, and therefore less clutter in the body. Press your thigh down, press your bones down, not aggressive but gradual. I forgot how much I love this pose. Slowly release your leg. Take a moment here, let the fluid, synovial fluid and blood flow through your body. Slowly roll over to your back. Hug your knees to your chest. Circle your ankles. Grab your knees still and just walk one knee forward and back like you're running in place, but keep your sacrum down. Good, and then move the block from your head. Take your block on the low or the medium setting for a supported bridge, right over your sacrum. Walk your shoulders back. Feel free to extend one leg or two legs, point them out, just to open those hip flexors. You can take your arms over your head as well. Wiggle your hips a little just to even your SI joint there. Breathe into your lower abdomen. Bend your knees. Lower the block to the low setting, under. And then lift your legs up to sleeping tiger. Take your hands to your knees and soften your knees here. Little micro bend, allow everything to fall and to slow your heart. Let it be therapeutic. Bend your knees down to the floor. Move the block out of your way, lengthen your spine, and then stretch your legs out. Ooh, like jelly. Take a nurturing breath. Inhale and exhale. Allow your arms to fall. Find your favorite way for Shavasana. You can roll your head back and side to side to soothe your nerve system. Take an inhale. And with every exhale, allow your bones, your joints to be heavy. Your shoulder joints, your elbows, your wrists, your chest, your hips, your knees, your ankles. And allow your pillar of light now to radiate through your body, sealing your body with a sense of ease and freedom, sense of stability, just the right balance. Notice how your breath is rising and falling, and how your joints are getting heavier. With your next breath, bring your hands together between your eyebrows into your third eye. Bend your knees towards you on the floor. And find that space of intuition and focus, concentration, bringing everything in a peaceful and mindful way. And then we bring our palms to our heart center to connect to our truth, the essence of who we are, where the inner light is always shining. Always find the little child, the little baby inside of you, pure and beautiful. Slowly roll over to the side in the fetus pose. If you have a block, feel free to rest here for another breath or so. Give yourself permission to let go and to enjoy the one breath, maybe two, maybe three. To be detached from the technology, from being called in a million different directions. And from that place, extend your arm and push the floor to come to a comfortable seat. one quiet moment. Bring your hands to your heart center. Namaste. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in person next, the following Sunday. Next Tuesday will be a free video. Thank you.